the Adventures in Awakening show. I'm Tracaya Spring, and this is the grand adventure of exploring the depths of who you really are and the highest purpose of why you're here. And we do it in a fun and entertaining way. So come along with us on an adventure in awakening. Today's guest is Kathryn Johnson. Welcome, Kathryn. So glad you're here.
Hi, Tracy. I'm so excited to be here today.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you. Now, Kathryn is a living embodiment of walking your talk. She was born with the disability cerebral palsy and overcame a lifetime of people saying to her, "No, you can't." And she stepped up and said, "Yes, I can." And cerebral palsy, or CP, is a term used to describe a group of symptoms affecting the body movement and muscle coordination, resulting from damage to the developing brain. Kathryn refused to let CP be a deterrent. It's been a huge motivator in her life. It's been a catalyst for her to step up, have influence, and embrace a life filled with success and happiness. Her accomplishments include attaining 3 degrees, 2 world championship bronze medals, a best-selling book, multiple awards and certifications. And Kathryn is also a gifted spiritual intuitive and medium, which is why she's here with us today. As a child, Kathryn innocently talked to spirits of children. She thought that they were imaginary friends, but found out later that they were spirits of children who had passed. Years later, she realized she had a gift of communicating with spirits, and she decided to learn more about it and develop her skills. So she went to Europe to study mediumship and hone her abilities. She also is a vehicle for the messages of spirit. She wrote a book, The Joy of Obstacles, and she felt that as she was writing the book, a divine source was helping her write it. For about 50% of the book, she just listened and wrote it down. A wonderful quote by John Newton expresses how she felt. That you're not doing, but you're aware of it being done. She now offers personal sessions as a medium and as an intuitive, as well as she is a spiritual life coach. And she helps clients to step into a higher version of themselves. For more information about this, please go to inspiredbykathryn.com and you will see her information below. So welcome, Kathryn. Welcome, welcome. So glad you are here.
What a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. And so can you tell us a little bit about what it was like as a child to talk to your imaginary friends or other spirits? What was that like?
It was interesting because they felt as real as any other friend would, except I couldn't see them with my eyes like we see with our external eyes, but I was very aware of their energy and very aware of their personalities.
Oh.
And because they had personalities and energy, as you know, spirit has energy, everything is energy. They seem very, very real. And in fact, I've come to learn that they are real. Spirit is no less real than anybody on the physical plane. They just don't have bodies, but their energy is very vibrant and alive. And I would even argue more alive, because not having a body, your energy is lighter. And so there is sort of less burden, if you will. I mean, we continue to learn when we pass on. I always tell my clients, you know, spirit, I can't guarantee you comes through when you have a mediumship session with me, because number one, they have to learn how to communicate, just like I have to learn how to communicate with them. But also number two, they have lives. They have lives. They're busy helping the spirit world do whatever they do in the spirit world, and they're helping people down here do what they need to do. This support, we have support all over the place. They're orchestrating all kinds of things behind the scenes for us, and we're so loved. We're so loved in our human journey, whether we acknowledge or have direct communication with spirit or not. There is so much love for each of us in our human journey.
Oh, beautiful. And so when did you start realizing that you had this gift of talking to spirit, communicating with spirit, hearing spirit?
I was about 30. That's, I wanted to open up my mediumship abilities. I started going to spirituals church when I was 28, and they had mediumship messages given at the church, and I thought I can do that, or I want to learn how to do that, because I've gotten these nudges, and I know stuff, like I just know stuff, and but I couldn't hear or see, or I was aware that we were guided in this life, but I had no ability to directly communicate. And I remember first learning before things opened up, it was like there was a wall of glass between us, and I knew they were on the other side of the glass, and I just couldn't hear them. And then one day I started to hear. A friend who was also a gifted medium said it's like a quiet whisper. And then I knew what I was listening for, because it doesn't quite sound like it sounds when we're talking to each other. It sounds a little bit different, because you're hearing it on the inside of your ear. You're not hearing it from the outer world. You're hearing it from almost like it's in your head, but it's not in your head. It's the spirits. And I also want to say that based on my learning and understanding, each of us is born with these beautiful gifts. But often what happens is we make a choice in our human journey to close down the gifts. We may not want to explore them at this time, or we may not be supported to explore them. So we can close them down as children. And so opening them up again as an adult can be a little bit harder. So we all have the gift. So if you're interested, come talk to me, and we can talk about what it's like, and I can answer any questions you might have.
Beautiful. And so generally, you have a spirit that kind of speaks to you and moves you through you. The voice of spirit comes to you. Can you tell us about that, what that's like?
I set an intention when I started developing my mediumship that anybody can come and talk to me, as long as they come with good intentions. I'm totally open to whoever comes. I'm open to whatever they have to say and however they want to communicate with me. So I have the ability to see, touch, taste, smell, and know things, and also sense. I can sense things in my body. I can sense if somebody passed over, say they had a backache or bad knees, or difficulty walking. I can sense that in my body. Most mediums that I know say that they don't have all 6. We call them the clairs, 6 clairs. Most people have 1 or 2, but because I've specifically asked, I've been blessed with the whole shebang.
Wow.
Whatever, however you want to communicate with me is totally fine, and I love it. I mean, I've had amazing experiences. I've also been able to communicate with pets. I've given a message from a horse to their owner.
Wow.
And I don't speak horse, but for some reason this horse was able to impress upon me what they were feeling, and I was able to tell the person, I said, this is
Wow.
how the horse felt. And I described the horse. I could see the horse. She said, yeah, that's my horse. And so that was
Wow.
really beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Wow. That is so amazing. That must be an amazing experience for you.
It is. It's unbelievable. I'm kind of lost for words here, but it impresses upon me two things: how everything is so incredibly connected, and we're never alone. And
Beautiful.
so what that means is, because everything is so connected, I have chosen to really embrace life and be an example to others in how to live our best lives, how to be the best version of ourselves, because it matters, because everything's connected. Everything is connected. So if I say I'm having a bad day and I kind of snap at someone, well, that affects their day, and then they go out and it affects someone else, and then it just goes on and on and on. So I'm really careful how I treat people, and how I choose to spend my time, and who I let in my life, because it matters. It matters. Words matter. How we show up matters. Keeping our commitments matter. All of that has an incredible ripple effect that is so far beyond anything you could ever imagine. It's so profound that once you understand how profound it is, there's no way you could ever do anything less. I mean, it's just incredible. That's a whole interview in itself. Talk about how our own power as spiritual beings having a human experience, how powerful we are, and how we impact others. And most of us don't even know, because we're just walking around unaware of our influence. And we're just some of us are kind of sleeping through life. I mean, if you're listening to this video, you're probably quite awake, which is wonderful. But a lot of people are not, and hopefully they will, they're on their journey. But it matters. It matters. How you show up matters. And I think the impact that we have, we may think, oh, that I made a difference in somebody's life today. Well, I would say that the difference that you made in somebody's life is probably 10 times or more what you think it is. Wayne Dyer said this quote in his book. He said, "A smile can stop a murder." And that's always stuck with me. So,
wow.
How you treat other people matters. If somebody's going to go and, hurt someone, and you just give them a smile, you can literally save someone's life.
Wow. Wow.
And
powerful.
I think about all the billions of people on the planet, and all the things that are going on simultaneously all day long. Every second, things are constantly moving, and there's constant influence. So we all have to do the best we can. Just do the best you can. Nobody's perfect, including me. I'm learning, and I make mistakes all the time. And I'm just trying to be more and more aware and awake as best I can every day.
Beautiful. And speaking about awakening, what is your concept of that? What is your idea of what awakening is?
Well, it's a matter of degree to me. I think, it's not like we're asleep and then we do all the spiritual work and then bang, we're enlightened. Now we're enlightened. Now we're here. Now we've made it. No, I thought that maybe it was like that, but I actually think it's just a matter of degree, and it's a matter of this unfoldment, and it's a release of the not self. So we're born and we come into life and we have these conditions that are put on us for lessons and different things, different experiences. And it gives us contrast so that we can learn our true nature. Because if we were just absolutely blissfully happy all the time, we wouldn't learn anything, because there'd be no contrast. So for us to learn, we have to be given these challenges, which is the joy of obstacles, interestingly enough. And as we awaken, we release these burdens or struggles, and we learn our lessons. And as we learn, we become more and more integrated with our true self, or our higher self, and closer to our divine self, our all-knowing self. It's just this beautiful unfoldment. I don't think we ever get there. I don't think anybody ever gets there. Even the most enlightened beings in the world, I think they probably still could. They still have things to learn too. I don't know, but that's just my thought.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Tracy.
And you were talking about your book, The Joy of Obstacles. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? How that unfolded for you?
So January 2018, I sat down and started writing. What do I know? I know my life. My book is a self-help memoir from birth to present day, about different obstacles I've had in my life and the gifts within them. And the title, The Joy of Obstacles, was just given to me. I said, what am I going to call this book? And I just heard The Joy of Obstacles. I said, it's, like American Ninja Warrior. Any of you watch that show? But I like that show because I love sports. and I love it because you can get through the obstacle any way you want. Just get through it. It doesn't have to be pretty. And it's a show about resilience and about community supporting each other. And I was just inspired to call it that, and people love it.
So what do you think the greatest obstacle in your life has been?
I have a perspective, I believe, that is different than most people's perspective. And it's taught me to understand that obstacles really are a vehicle for teaching us where our gifts are. They teach us connection with others. A lot of people want to get rid of their obstacles because they want, obstacles are inconvenient, they're scary, they're all kinds of things, and they want to get rid of them. And sometimes people run from them. And no, my theory is that you embrace your obstacles because they're catalysts for moving people together. If we had the answers, we wouldn't need to connect with people. But when we have an obstacle, we need support. If we knew the answer, we wouldn't need to connect with others, and creativity would stagnate, the world would stagnate, life would be pretty boring, Would we be on this call right now if there was no obstacles in life?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. And I'm really glad to be here today. So there you go.
It is how we learn and grow, isn't it, as a soul? That is what we're here to do, isn't it? Go through the obstacles and learn the lessons and grow from it and become wiser and stronger and all of that.
Yes, it's quite interesting how Spirit's got this all planned.
Yes. And you're such an inspiration to me and so many, Kathryn, about how you've taken the challenges and obstacles that were given you at birth, and you've overcome them in such a sublime way. And now you use it to teach others and inspire others. So you're such a powerful example for all of us. to not get sidetracked by challenges and difficulties and obstacles, but to face them and overcome them and let it uplift you to the next level of yourself. So thank you for being such an amazing example of that for all of us, Kathryn.
Oh, thanks.
You inspire me all the time.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you.
Beautiful.
It brings me joy to know that. So thank you for sharing that. And I just really feel like it is my purpose to spread my message. Somehow this was a job that was divinely appointed, divine assignment. And so I'm going to step up and continue to step up.
Beautiful. And here you are.
Here I
am.
Yeah. And this is so much fun.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful day today.
It's a beautiful day today. And so for our messages for awakening, Kathryn is going to be connecting in with spirit and offering a message from that spirit realm for all of us today, for the purpose of uplifting us, awakening us, reminding us who we really are and why we're here, and to just help us along our journey. And so, Kathryn, I'm just gonna put it over to you, and when you're ready.
Okay, well, we're talking about obstacles today, and I'm reminded that, it's important to look beyond the immediacy of what's going on, in the forefront, in the immediacy of the obstacles that we have. Something might happen, for example, a job loss, or, we're dealing with rising interest rates right now, different things like that. And some of us out there might be worried about that. Oh no, that's no good. Well, you know what? There is a divine intelligence to all that is happening right now. I promise you. Spirit promises the listeners that are out there that this is all divinely orchestrated. How we respond is up to us. But do not worry so much, So what do you do if you're faced with an obstacle? You take one step. Let's take a step. And then another one, and another one, and another one. And you'll realize that eventually you're through the struggle. And ask for help. Weigh the options available to you. And realize that life is happening for us. Life is happening to serve us. Even the tough stuff. And I want to say, especially the tough stuff. My goodness. Some of my toughest challenges have been my greatest gifts. I cannot tell you how many people have met me and found out that I've had cerebral palsy since I was born. And they're just like, oh, how sad. How sad. I'm so sorry. And the first thing I say to them is, well, don't be sorry. I got a great life. And then I tell them about my life, which Tracy has graciously told you all about, all my accomplishments, my degrees, my book, my medals, and coaching, and it goes on and on. And when I tell my story, people are astounded. And I think it's because they have preconceived notions of what things mean. So when we're faced with an obstacle, remember that events are neutral. And it's how we perceive them that makes them either difficult and awful or a blessing. So check your perspective. How do you check your perspective? Look for the good in things. Say to yourself, what could be the possible good of this thing that I'm facing right now? What lesson am I learning? What golden nugget is in here for me to learn and to grow? And not just learn and grow, but be a better person, be happier on the other side because of this. What is the thing? And literally make a list. You know, if you focus on the positive things that are happening, you'll forget about, well, you won't forget about the problem, but the problem won't seem as big. And when a problem starts to seem smaller, then you have more clarity as to how to move forward and solve it as well. So, you know, we get stuck in our heads. We make things a lot bigger than they actually are. Our human brains, you know, the negativity sticks to our brain like a magnet, and sometimes the positive things slip away. So it's very important to think of the good, and then take one step at a time and look at your options and ask for help. That's some good pointers on how to start embracing your obstacles.
Beautiful, beautiful. Does the Divine Spirit have any clues for us as to what is going on at another level? We see what's going on in the surface level of the world. Is there something else going on more at that spirit level? Maybe transformation going on, transformation of consciousness for us all in the world, an upliftment of awareness, something like that. Is anything like that going on that we can learn about?
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, that's always going on. But it's going on at a much faster pace right now. And it's going on faster pace, but also like in a wider context. It's time for the planet to wake up. There are going to be those that choose not to, and that's fine. That's where they are in their journey. But people are going to choose to be more awake than ever before. It's time. People are discovering what's working and what's not working, and letting go of what's not working. Sometimes letting go can be a blessing. Sometimes letting go can be very painful. It's, you know, it's our attachment to what was that can make our growth so much harder than it needs to be. They say that the root of all suffering is attachment. So if there's something in your heart that says, you know, it's time for me to change, it's time for me to change a relationship, a job, something I'm doing with my time, let it go, because it's in that void that you make space for something beautiful and new and more life-giving and expansive for you on your evolutionary journey to wake up and be more like your true self.
Beautiful, beautiful. Are there any little pointers that you can give to help us to awaken more, to
Sure.
open up more? Yes.
Meditation's always great. Yoga, and, you know, honestly, laughter. I'm being told laughter, especially now, the world needs laughter. Laughter and joy and positive music, happy music, and just being with the sounds of people having a good time. Go out with your friends and family and just enjoy each other. Spend time to be in your heart and connect with people and their hearts, and remember the people in your life. because life is so busy sometimes that we kind of forget about each other. And it's okay, it happens, we're all busy. But Spirit's reminding us today that maybe go back and make those phone calls you've been meaning to make, or those apologies that, you know, are a little bit late, or clean up those things in our relationships that need to be cleaned up, those conversations that need to be had. You know, little things to patch up. They're not so little sometimes, especially if they fester. And just do your best to clean things up and connect with people again. Because we've gotten away from that for a while, and it's time to get back to that. We don't need to connect in the same physical space. The encouragement is to connect with our hearts and really have genuine conversations, even though they're difficult. And I'm hearing especially if they're difficult, because those are the ones that really need to be had and are really, they're quite stifling if we don't have them. It's like you think, oh, I'm avoiding that conversation because it's uncomfortable, and maybe my relationship's going to break up if we have this conversation. And maybe it will, but maybe that's the best gift ever, because maybe you both have been unhappy for a long time, and maybe there's something so much better waiting. You know, who knows? I don't know. You have to ask your heart what's right. But all I know is this: when you automatically do what's right for you, you automatically do what's right for everybody else. And when you do what isn't right for you, you automatically do what isn't right for everybody else. And that was brought to me by one of my mentors. And that's my number one rule that she gave me, and I hold up my heart.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And are there any pointers for us to know how to connect with our own spirit, our own soul, or the spirit world a little bit better? How can we each learn to do that and practice to do that a little more?
Listen. I mean, first of all, you have to set the intention and ask to be a vehicle to hear, to know, to see whatever you would like, and set your intention. And then when you do that, ask Spirit. Even if you don't hear them, they hear what you're asking. So ask them, how are you going to help me learn this? And they might start with symbols, for example. I don't know. Everybody has their own personal way of opening up, but they might start with symbols. You might see butterflies, and that might mean something to you, or certain colors might mean something to you, or a symbol that means something of somebody that's passed on. Who knows? The first thing you got to do is set the intention. The second thing you got to do is ask Spirit how they're going to communicate with you, because they will work with your strengths. And even if you don't hear, you will somehow be impressed. Like you'll get this aha, okay, so I feel like I should do this. And you may not have heard anybody say that, but you'll just know, like, that's my next move. So commit to that. And, you know, go from there. And beautiful things will happen. Part of my training, I've been taught that, you know, Spirit won't give messages to people that don't believe in messages. Why would they? You know? But if you say, hey, I want to learn how to do this, show me you're here, show me how to communicate with you, they will start. Why give symbols and signs to people that don't want to pay attention to them. It takes energy for spirit to leave us all these signs and symbols all day long. And if we're not paying attention, why would they do that? So, ask and you shall receive, as they say. It's that simple.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
That's very helpful. Very helpful. And Kathryn, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners today to send people off with some inspiration or upliftment, either from spirit or from your own experience?
Well, it's a new year, 2023. We're just in January right now, early in the first quarter of the year. And my intuition says it's going to be an amazing year. Things will be moving differently than they've moved in the last couple of years. And I don't know why, but I sense that it's time for the world to move forward in a different way. So I would encourage people to pay attention. Pay attention to what's working in your life, what's not working in your life. Pay attention to those little nudges, those little feelings in your heart that, yes, I want more of this. Oh, maybe it's time to let that go. And just tune in to your higher awareness in whatever way that you know how. Because the more we're connected to that, the more that spirit, we can be aligned with spirit, and this movement that the world is going through right now, the more in tune we are, the more we can sort of go with life instead of fight life.
Beautiful.
I'll leave you with that.
Beautiful, Kathryn. Beautiful. Thank you so much. You've shared such beautiful wisdom with us today. I've got a lot to think about, and I know all our listeners have got a lot to ponder and process now after all of that wisdom came through. And we're so grateful that you joined us today, and grateful for you in that you've developed this gift, developed your own wisdom through your own obstacles, and you come here so beautifully matured as a beautiful, wise soul. So we're very blessed to know you and to have you join us today. And thank you so much, Kathryn.
It was so fun, Tracy. I can't wait to do this again.
Yay. Thank you so much, Kathryn. Have a glorious day, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay, you too.
Thank you for joining us for the Adventures in Awakening show. I'm Tracy Spring, and wishing you a glorious day.